come over here and we'll have some fun. We got a lot to talk about. I just invited Nick up to speak, and then we got Juan if he wants to come up too. And then I think, are we waiting on anybody else, or do we want to just kind of get into it?
I say let's get into it. And our mods, we want to bring you up too. You've been such an incredible part of our team, and we want to make sure you get up here if you're in the crowd. So we have a pretty big audience. We're almost at 200 people. This is our biggest one yet so far, by far rather. And so raise your hand. You know, if you come in and you want to come up, so we can see you there and pull you up. Hopefully.
I just invited Low and High up, and then Nick and
Great.
Juan too. So, and Juan's like, no, I'm on another Zoom, but I'll be listening. So Juan's not going to join us.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in everyone's world right now, so that's good.
Oh man, welcome everybody.
I don't know. Nick may be working too, so all good if he doesn't want to come up. But Nick, you're welcome to come up. Why don't we jump into it? I don't even have so. Tara, we normally have an agenda when we're doing the town hall format. Like on Friday when you guys join us for town hall, we'll have like a full agenda and we'll like welcome you and do all these things. And today we're just like, holy shit, little bit of whiplash. And we were like, we need to do an AMA. We need to get together with you guys because there's a lot of new people. And so, I mean, that's Tara, I don't know if you had any other plans. We should probably introduce people on stage and, you know.
I mean, yeah, I think what we want to do is just, first of all, I mean, we're all, in case you can't tell, we're all a little blown away by the events of the last, 24 plus hours. We didn't know what to expect, we were incredibly excited and we worked really hard some members of our team have been working on Warp Sound for 2.5 years. Some members, like myself, came in, several months ago, back in September. Lindsey, can you mute your mic?
Yeah,
thank
sorry.
you, thank you.
I was trying to say hello and let you know that Andy's here, but he can't actually talk right now.
Okay. Well, if he wants to come up later. Yeah, great. Thanks. I just get distracted by little sounds. So yeah, some of us have been here for several months, some have been here for several years, and we all came together in September to start really working on this Warps NFT project as part of the Warp Sound overarching project, which, as many of you know from being around here with us for a while or reading the roadmap, checking out the roadmap, this is a long-term project with a dedicated core team that comes from some of the most exceptional and accomplished places in the metaverse and the real world, and all with very diverse backgrounds in music and technology, and with this vision to create virtual artists making AI-powered music that are interactive and can move about the world in the same way as human artists. And what started out as, I think, a question in our founder, Chris McGarry's mind and heart quickly became a reality. And, over the years developed and worked and got, more and more capable of moving around the world and through the world the way that he wondered if they might be able to. And combine that with all the stuff happening in Web3 and Jeff Nicholas, our project lead, his, deep involvement with NFTs and with the NFT space and with the Clubhouse space in early days and bringing Bored Apes to so many of us into our lives. And that seemed like, I think, sort of a light bulb went off, and it was like, well, how better to introduce these artists into the world than through an NFT drop that offers all the utility that's been in development all along. What a perfect way to package it up and deliver it to the world. And everything that happened in the last few months has been beyond any of our anything everything that's happened. Jeff and I were talking last night, and we were just sort of like blown away by everything and kind of floored by the whole thing and emotional. So I just wanted to sum it up really quickly, because I know the team is sort of overwhelmed. And I think this is sort of what we're thinking about, and we'd love to tell a little bit about the story of what's going on, and then take some questions. And welcome, Rachel, and talk
Tara,
to you.
real quick, Tara,
Yeah.
I was trying to find a place to not cut you off, but I want to make sure, are we recording this?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, great. I promised some people that we would. So.
Oh yeah, cool. We're recording. Yep, absolutely. So all my stumbling over my own speech, because I'm in a state of exhaustion, will be preserved and recorded for all time in our Discord. So yeah, Jeff, would you please cut me off again and say some things to our community, our family here?
Yeah. Well, first off, I want, for all of you here in the audience, we've got a few of the team members here up on stage. This isn't everyone, but this is a good cross section of some of the core team. So I don't know if this order is the same way in Discord, like if you're seeing the same thing I am, but TAF Nerd is Chris McGarry. Chris is our founder. He started Authentic Artists, which is the parent company for Warpsound. And it's really, this has been, his vision from the beginning of, can we bring AI music to the masses? Can we bring interactive music experiences to the masses? Can we do that through virtual artists that can live and breathe in the metaverse? And so what started as really a thesis maybe 3 years ago has turned into this where we are now. We're going to post. Chris wrote a really incredible. It started as like a white paper, but then it kind of morphed into like a hi Chris, what would you call it?
I think that's a good question.
I think
I refer to it as a love story in the actual write-up. A love story about music. I guess that's as good a description as any.
Yeah. And so we're going to post that. There's going to be a mirror article, and we'll get that link out. But that really kind of gives a breakdown in a really eloquent way of where Chris comes from, where all of this energy for this project comes from, and then how this team formed and what it's all about and where we're going with it. So I think if you're into long form reading, it'll be great. And the TLDR is he loves music and he loves technology, and we're fusing those things together in a really awesome way. Next to him is Lindsey Burns. So Lindsey is a very accomplished photographer, sold out collection on OpenSea earlier this year. She is, also leading overall strategic partnerships for us here, and has been just tirelessly working behind the scenes to pull most of the partnerships together, with Tara and with me and with Chris, but doing a lot of really amazing work to make this all come together. Check out her work on Foundation as well. She's got a piece up right now that is absolutely beautiful. And she's also my ride or die. She's my partner in this life. So it's awesome to be able to do this together. Steve Pardo. Lindsey, do you want to say something?
Well, yes. Thank you. I just wanted to say, publicly, because I won't get a chance, but actually Tara just bid on my on one of my pieces, and I'm like sobbing because it's really sweet. So I just want to shout out, go team. Thank you.
You've got Queen Lindsey or Mama Lindsey in the chat from Angel. So.
Can I just say something about Lindsey's work really quick too before we get off of that subject? Because Lindsey and I met early in Clubhouse, and I already knew of her, and I don't know if she knew of me, but we had mutual friends, and I was already a fan of her work, and I've been waiting to collect one of your pieces. So it's not like a nice or a sweet thing. It's just like a you're super talented thing, and I'm so happy that I can have one of your photographs in my collection. So that's all.
I didn't know who you were. We'll do this later. But you know, as a music photographer, how could I not? And yeah, I could steal the next hour talking, but I'm going to be quiet now because I'm going to just silently cry. Cool.
And next to Lindsey is Steve Pardo. So Steve has overseen all of the audio side, all of the music side, all of the sound engineering side, all of the music side of everything that we've been doing. Steve is an accomplished musician himself, a jazz saxophonist, among other things. And prior to this was at Harmonix. And at Harmonix, he was leading interactive music experiences for my brain is fried for Rock Band and Dance Central and some others as well. And Steve just recently collaborated with our artists. I'm seeing Saxy Steve in the chat with our artists on the Wednesday live stream. He did a live performance with Naomi and with Glitch with the saxophone. Hopefully we'll get to do that again. Maybe we'll do that this week, Steve. It's like a good week for it.
Hey, I'm down for whatever. I like the Saxy Steve nickname. I'll take it. Y'all are awesome.
And then we've got, so I'm just kind of going down the row here. So I've got Nick, who is right now rocking a Narhart example. Nick oversees all of our engineering, but beyond that, if you were in the space last night and you heard Nick share about his sort of view on technology and his view on the world, he also is one of the most incredible people connectors and connectors of humanity to technology that I've ever met. And I just really, really privileged to work with Nick. Not only is he just incredibly brilliant in pulling together systems and architecture and developers, but he's also, it's about the people for him. And that's what this whole thing is about. Nick, do you want a couple words?
Jeff, you're amazing. I love you, man.
I love you too, man. I love his team. So Andy's right next to you. Andy, I know he can't talk because he unmuted. Andy. No, he can't actually talk. But that's okay. I can't tell if he's trying to talk or not. No. Andy Poon is our illustrator, and Andy came into the family. We met Andy here in the NFT space, really in the Clubhouse rooms, and Andy was doing derivative works of Onis and Bored Apes and just really, really incredible work. That's where he met Lindsey for the first time, and Lindsey immediately was like, yo, Andy is perfect for what we're trying to do. And he became part of the family, instantly. And, Andy's background is an Emmy-winning artist who, worked on Dragon Prince and a bunch of other, really incredible properties, film and TV properties. And just has like an impeccable level of quality and detail to the art, which has made my life a little bit hell because we have gone back and forth on the traits and getting them perfect for some time. But I really appreciate it because we want this to be the highest quality pieces we can have out there. Rachel, underneath Andy, Rachel is the glue. She's working the mods, really helping keep the Discord along with all of our mods and along with Lyris, keeping this place a healthy and supportive, environment. We've been growing really rapidly lately, but when we started this Discord back in September, we were 65 people, and and it was like, okay, how are we going to mod this? What are we going to do? And now, when I look at it, we're at 14,000. And it's growing, and I think 4,000 of those came in maybe the last 36 hours or 24 hours. So there's a lot of new folks here, and Rachel is the Discord mom, or the mom of Discord, as a lot of the other projects like to say. And then Tara is just an incredible singer-songwriter who has a bunch of accolades on the music side under her belt. First YouTube music or YouTube video award. Just an incredible talent, but also a really incredible community builder and marketer. And we met here, through Lindsey, and we met in the NFT space, and we're just people doing cool shit. And when we started to bring this to the surface, it was like there's nobody better than Tara to bring in and help run this. And so we've partnered up, and it's been really, really incredible building this with you. And I'm sorry, Best Music Video Award. I butchered that. Sorry, Tara.
The first.
The first.
Which is, I mean, think about that for a second. That is some foresight and, into this. So not only just like really also early into crypto and understanding the space, but a truly brilliant artist. So, and collector of my work, as I just said.
And so, yeah, sorry, I thought you were done. So I wanted to just introduce you to the team here because, like I said, a lot of you are new, and our team is a fully doxed team. You can look at our bios on the website. You can search us on LinkedIn. You can search us all across the internet. And I think for us, that's really important. For us, it doesn't mean that, an Anon team is necessarily bad, but for us, it was just really important that we are a doxed team. We are in this for the long run. Our reputations are on the line. And, we come together bringing some pretty incredible skill sets to the table. And that is a big part of this project, right? It's not just about a PFP that you've purchased or that you're hoping to purchase or collect. It's also so much more along the road. We're calling it the tour, which you can look at in the roadmap channel. All of these things that we're going to bring to bear for the community, things that we were already planning on doing in a lot of ways. But now, because of Web3, we get to bring you guys along with us, and we get to build it in public, and we get to do this for token holders and some stuff that we'll do for everybody, not just token holders. But the team is important, and so we spend a lot of time, acknowledging the team, acknowledging who they are, and usually in our town halls too, we do big acknowledgments on some great things that each individual has done during the week. I'm Jeff Nicholas. I'm a creative director. I've done some stuff with people, big artists and things, and I'm just really stoked that this team has allowed me to lead this project and drive it with their support. Okay, I think probably the best thing for us to do, Tara, is dive into maybe some stuff that we knew was coming this week, to just give people kind of a heads up.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, let's talk about some things that we know are on the horizon here for us moving forward, and then we can take some questions.
Cosimo just tweeted, yeah, I grabbed several more warps today. Excited for the reveal, but apparently this Pranksy character is more excited than I am. It's so good.
God.
They're going back and forth on Twitter right now. So
what?
It's wild. It's wild. This is beyond our expectations, guys. Like, I mean, we knew we're building something special. Like, we have the confidence in what we're building, but at the same time, we're a pretty humble team, and in a lot of ways, and to see the reception that we've received, like, this is an organic build. We have not. There's no paid marketing here. Our Discord isn't full of bots. We don't have 100,000 people who are ghosts in the Discord. This has all been organic growth, and the artists that are attached to it, like Mike Shinoda and Flostradamus and others that will be coming to bear, are artists that are, we have relationships with. In the case of Mike, like, I have a long-term relationship with him and showed him what we were doing, a year and a half ago. And he was like, hell yeah, I need to be a part of this. How can I be a part of it? And he invested and came in as a partner, not just he's not paid to be here. He put money in too, because he believes in it. Flostradamus found us on Instagram, and he was like, holy shit, this is really cool. And we reached out to him via his manager because of that. We're like, hey, would Kurt want to take a listen? And as soon as he did, he's like, I have to be a part of this. This AI music has passed the Turing test for me for what AI music should be. It's got a vibe. It feels good. It doesn't feel like mechanical music. How can I be a part of it? So all of the people around the project are that way. And so we feel really great about that. So when we see things like Cosimo, Cosimo loves the project. That's why he's tweeting about it, because he sees it. He sees the value in it. So hopefully you guys do too. What we've got coming this week. So reveal. This is the big one, right? Like when reveal, I see the question, tell us about the rarity. We'll get to that. When reveal. We have it billed right now as on or before Friday, January 21st. So expect it Friday, January 21st. And if it comes earlier, it'll be an awesome surprise, right? But that's the expectation. It's kind of funny because we set that date expecting that this sale might take a little while. Like, you know, it might take a couple of days to sell it out. We did not expect to almost sell out in pre-sale and then have it go in like 9 seconds in public for the remainder. So there's a little bit more of a gap than we expected, but that's okay. We get to hang out and we get to do some other cool stuff. Lindsey and I think Chris are going to join Matt Medved on an NFT Now space on Thursday at 1:30. So we're going to be on there. I think we're going to be there with Super Plastic as well. So that's going to be really fun. That'll be a good conversation about what we're doing. And Tara, are there any other events planned, like actually locked that we can talk about, or they all still floating a little bit?
Yeah, well, we have a couple of things that are sort of floating, that's true, but we definitely have one of our favorite DJs, our favorite in-house DJs coming back on Saturday, we think. We just have to figure out the time. But if anyone missed our founder, Chris McGarry's DJ set a couple weeks ago, you don't have to cry yourself to sleep at night wishing that you'd been here early, because he's going to come back. And I have to say, that was one of my most favorite. We've had incredible people on the Discord, by the way, like huge artists and really wonderful conversations and AMAs and everything. But I have to say that Chris's DJ set moved me so much. And I think everybody who was here felt that way. And I've just been kind of like very gently bugging him to come back ever since then, just for selfish reasons, because it put me in such a great space. And so he is going to come back and party with us on Saturday at some point. We're not sure what time yet, but we'll keep you posted on that. And we're also going to be doing a number of, I don't know how many, if anybody was there last night, we're going to sort of do some random pop-ups on Twitter Spaces, and we're definitely planning for reveal whenever that is. We're going to have something really fun for that. We're talking about starting it here in the Discord and then kind of changing to our PFPs, everybody, and then like going as a group over to Twitter Spaces. And I have a really great sound system that I can play music through into Twitter Spaces, and we'll like DJ, you know, people can come up and say, oh, my Warp is number, whatever, and I'll play the music, and we can just kind of rock out and like have like vibe to everybody's Warp's music. And so that's going to be happening right around the reveal. We just have to figure out exactly. It'll either be Friday or ? So we'll keep you posted, and always check the events. They're up at the top of the channel sidebar.
So in addition to that, we've got our town hall that'll be on Friday. So we do a town hall every Friday. We will always do that, rain or shine, unless someone's like really out of commission or something weird happens. But the town halls are really about just making sure that you guys are up to speed on what's going on, the progress of things. We're not always going to give everything away, because we are definitely a team that's about under promising and over delivering. We also like game theory. And so we like to kind of bring you guys on a ride, and, give you different things to have fun with, whether or not, some people will want to engage in that and some people won't, and that's totally cool. But we love it. We have fun with it. So, but the town halls are great. So those are usually at 1 p.m. Pacific. We are going to try to mix up times on stuff, by the way, there's a ton of international. And so anybody who's listening to this recording, we know that there's a ton of international community here. We want to get a poll of that together to figure out where everybody's at, so that we can start to kind of like put things into time zones that can work a little bit better for everybody. Angel, what is a time zone? I don't know, because I don't sleep anymore. And then the other event that we have, so Wednesday, this is a big one for us. And if you're new here, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. And again, this time will probably shift as we get into the next season of these. But we do a live interactive performance on Twitch. So our main characters our main artists are DJ Dragoon, Narhart, and Naomi. Those are the three that make up the Warps project as well, and the NFTs that you'll buy, or that you've collected, the PFPs. We also have Glitch, who's a mutant ape. They all perform live, and they perform AI-generated music live. And you, in the Twitch chat, get to participate in making that music. So if you want to hear it faster, or you want to hear it slower, you want to add a sound, we have options on the screen. You're able to vote for those, and the music changes in near real time. There's a little bit of delay as the system processes it. We do that live. It's about an hour, and we also do a bunch of like we have guests come on, and Steve played the sax, and we've got all kinds of stuff planned for that. This Wednesday is the last episode of the first season, so we've been running that for 11 weeks, I believe, and then we'll get into season 2, which is sort of kicking off as we plan that out now with token holders. So there's a lot more involved in that, and what does that mean, and how do token holders get to participate? That we're kind of working through. So put that on the calendar for Wednesday. It's gonna be really fun. Okay, I think there we go. So those are the events. That's kind of stuff that's happening that we can talk about. That's that are locked in. I think we should get to talking a little bit about the drop and about the NFTs that are sitting in your wallet, or that you're flipping, or that you're whatever you're doing with them. Like what are these? Right? Like, we've got a bunch of examples. I'm trying to look for the channel name. My mouse died because of all that activity, so I got to get a new mouse. I'm going to the trackpad. And what's our channel name for this?
Wait, what's the question?
WIP sneak previews. So under Warp's NFTs, we've got a sneak previews channel. So in that channel, you'll see a bunch of imagery, and you'll hear a bunch of audio. The imagery are example PFPs showing some of the trait configurations that are generated by the script. The audio that you'll hear there is some of the audio that's generated by our AI composed. When your NFT reveals, what you will have is that PFP, image file, right? Like a JPEG or PNG, and you will have a WAV file also that's a playable music file. So when you look at it on OpenSea, you'll see the image, and in the bottom right, there will be a little play button, and you hit that play button, and it plays the audio. That audio isn't just random audio. It's not stems that were put together that were pre-recorded. It's AI composed music that's based off of the traits of its PFP. So if you've got a dragoon that has fire hair and a red background and an angry or an aggressive grin, or whatever the traits are that make up your PFP, they all get fed into our AI, and the AI is generating audio, music that is based on that, and it essentially acts as the soundtrack to your PFP. So it's generated it's pre-generated. What you'll get is a WAV file. So you can play it, you can loop it, you can do whatever you want with it. But it is based on that. It's got a bunch of metadata also. So if you look at it on OpenSea, you're going to see all your visual traits, and there's a bunch of them. And then you're going to see all your audio traits there too. So you'll be able to search by things like BPM, or this particular drum sound, I really like it. Or we've got these scales where it's like weird and happy, and all these different modes of music that go from 1 to 4. And so you'll be able to say, I want to see all the super weird stuff. So I'm just going to search for everything that's a 4 and weird. So it's a whole new way to explore music that you probably haven't seen yet on a platform like OpenSea. They're not super equipped to handle it. So we're going to all be kind of experiencing this together. The metadata is all there though, and as other platforms develop and create new use cases for music, that metadata will carry over. So it's always attached to your NFT. But all of that's all together. So you've got the PFP, you've got the audio. The audio is roughly an 8-bar loop, so think like 20 to 40 seconds of music. You own the audio. You own the commercial rights to it. You can use it however you want commercially. Privately too, of course. But like, if you want to make an album out of it, if you want to make it your intro music to your Twitch stream, if you want to sub-license it to somebody else, if you want to make a remix, whatever you want to do with that music, it's yours. And any money you make off of that music, it's yours. We're not asking for a cut of that. It's yours to do that with. You'll be able to request your stems for that music here in the Discord. We'll eventually have a DApp set up where you can connect to that, and you'll be able to pull them down. That's going to take a little time. But in the meantime, you'll be able to just come here. If you're a musician and you want the stems, so the layers of the audio, you can come and request that. You can see what that means and how that could be used. Mike Shinoda did a really incredible, he did a remix of an example track on his Twitch stream. So he did that live. And if you want to view that full thing, you can go into main stage replays, and we've got that posted there, where he took a Goon track, the 4 layers for it, the 4 stems, broke it apart, added his own sounds, remixed it, and created a full song out of it, all within an hour. So that it's just a pretty incredible example of what can be done. And Flosstradamus is going to be doing something really fun in a similar vein. I'll tease that. So that's the NFT. Like, I know that was a lot, but I wanted to describe it to you. You guys are here. You're a captive audience. You bought in. So like, you probably want to hear about it. If we were in a Twitter space, I would just say it's a PFP with AI composed music attached based on the traits, and you have commercial rights to all of it. That's the short answer of what you get. There's a big question about rarity that keeps coming up in the channel, and then we can probably turn this into an AMA. Everything has rarity, just like a normal PFP project. Bored Apes, Cool Cats, like whatever, right? Like they've all got different rarity based off of their traits. Some traits are more rare than others. You know, you've got a particular hat that might be more rare. You have body, skin, all of that stuff. And so the rarity will shape up similarly to those projects. We will be on Rarity Tools. We will be on Rarity Sniper. We will be on a new Rarity platform that we're hoping to launch, or they're launching. That is, we're going to be one of their launch partners when we come live with that stuff. So you'll be able to look at rarity in that way, visual rarity. A note on rarity, though, for our collection, we didn't. We have this particular view around aesthetic versus rarity that I think is a little bit different than some projects. And we're going to write this up and talk about it a little bit more too. But Andy and I were really focused on making things that looked seriously cool, where, you know, if you got something that was on the floor or you got something that was super rare, it didn't like, it mattered, but, and the traits are like, you know, range from like really holy shit to, kind of more basic. But we wanted everything to aesthetically have a feel. And so that's what you'll find is the things that might be the most rare, that are hard to get in other projects like gold skins and that sort of thing, might not be as rare in this project. And that's kind of the ethos of what we're doing. We want it to be a little bit more democratized and everybody have access to a little bit more than you might get through something else. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, how aesthetic versus rarity plays out when it comes to big collectors and big purchases and all of that stuff. But we're trying something new with that, and I think it should get received pretty well. On the music side, there is rarity baked into that too. The rarity on the music side is more descriptive rarity. It's a lot more subjective to hear a song and try to understand what feels more quote unquote rare there. So likely those traits won't factor into like your rarity scores on the Rarity Tool sites, for example, but they'll be there, and so you'll know there's only 5% have this drum or whatever. And so you can factor that in if it makes sense, if it makes a difference to you. And then outside of that, the metadata, like I said, the metadata is all searchable. So you're going to be able to search all of that stuff and use it to find music that you might really like or things that you want to collaborate with. Okay, I've said a lot, Tara.
You're doing, it's all good. It's so good. I think we have like two different conversations going between the general chat and the AMA chat. We kind of have two different. We have a guest celebrity in our general chat right now. But so there's a lot of excitement up there. A lot of folks in there to see Cosimo say GM.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, that happened. That just happened. So yeah, and so, but I think for questions, maybe come on into the AMA chat.
So basically, no one was listening to me because Cosimo was hanging out in there.
No, they're listening.
I love
they're
it. I love
and typing. It's all happening. Everybody's excited. They're like, this AMA is mad. This project is mad. Everybody's it's all happening. So yeah, let's take some questions.
Yeah, and
Jeff, before we take questions, can I just jump in for a minute?
Yes, please.
Jeff is, as the guy who's giving everyone else acknowledgments, sort of, it's the last in line. So I just, and Jeff doesn't like or need, I don't think, to be singled out. So sorry, Jeff, if you're a little uncomfortable, but you are a captive audience like everyone else. the energy that you're hearing and feeling from Jeff right now, he has been pumping that energy day in, day out, night in, night out for months on end to bring us to this point. And it's a lot of probably deadline pressure. I'm pretty sure a lot of caffeine along the way, a lot of adrenaline. But knowing Jeff like I do, more than any of those things, it's been a lot of heart that has produced that energy. And I think when the reveal comes, you're going to see that heart, and you're going to hear it in your ears. You're going to see it in your warp art. And we just wouldn't be here without Jeff. And I hope you all see that and appreciate his effort creating this as much as we do on the team. I just wanted to share that. Thanks, Jeff.
Man, you're gonna make me cry. Thank you. I haven't fully processed all of this yet, and it's like, hear that. I thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. We have a ton of questions. I don't know how I'm going to sort them, and I don't know if anybody's keeping track of any of these. I'm going to just kind of go as I see them, and if Tara or Lindsey or anybody else sees stuff, maybe we can all kind of take them. One of the questions I'm seeing, that just an immediate one, can we add replace tracks, add our own music, or do what we have to the music and trait data? Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't technically you can't to the NFT itself because it's fixed on the blockchain, but you can take that music, that WAV file or the stems, and do whatever you want. So if you're musically inclined and you want to take it and pull it into Ableton or whatever you want and mix your own stuff into it, absolutely, please do. Please make something great. Share it with us. We'll have contests. We've got one coming up in February with Audius, where you'll be able to submit your remixes of your warp and enter to win like a piece of their grant money and whatnot they've got going on over there. So please, 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 that's what we hope people will do. And that's one of the things you can see Mike did on his Twitch stream. Talk about the long term, please. So yeah, I mean, we are built for long term. Prior to turning this, prior to putting Web3 as the engine underneath everything, and deciding to build in public in that way and bring you all along on the ride with us. We've been building this for 2.5 years, almost 3 years, the AI audio engine and the virtual artists. They've got full backstories, cinematic, backstories that would be like, our version of what a Marvel universe would be. And so we haven't just been building that in order to drop a PFP project and then be like, cool, let's do like a couple of things and see what happens. We're building that so that we can create a new way, in our mind, a new way for humans to interact with music. A lot of the time, people out in the world, people in their everyday life, music is just a back element. We think it's more important than that. And so our whole mission is to try to find ways for audiences, for people to interact with music in deep and meaningful ways. And the way that we're doing that is through the lens of AI music and through the lens of virtual artistry. So the long term for us is not a 6-month roadmap. It is, a 5-year business plan, right? What you're going to see is we've got what we call the Genesis Tour. And if you go into the roadmap channel, you can find that. The Genesis Tour is our first tour. It's the genesis of it. It's these tours are going to continue. And in this one, we will be doing the things mentioned in the roadmap. We talk about them sort of broadly right now because we wanted to see where this goes, and we want to get an understanding from the community of who you guys are and what's important, and to the holders, not to the flippers. Like, you guys are going to do what you're going to do with them, and the speculators and stuff. Like, you're going to do what you're going to do. But the people who are here, who are holding, who want to create with the music, and who want to be part of what we're building long term, we kind of want to see like what matters to you guys and what's important, and that's then what we'll prioritize. But we've already got things like the Audius contest coming up for February. We've got a giveaway for VIP to EDC Las Vegas 2022. So that's coming. We've got event stuff planning that'll be IRL stuff. A lot of different options for token holders to get different access to like the Warpsound live experience that we produce every Wednesday. And then there's, this is a collectible project. We think collectibles are a really fun way to interact with all of this stuff. So there will be continued collectible drops, airdrops to holders, and fun new stuff. And in addition to that, we're building virtual artists. And so why would we not build a virtual artist with you guys? So everyone who's a holder will work with us. If you want to, you don't have to, but you'll have the opportunity to work with us on the next virtual artist. So what is our 5th artist that we launch? Well, that's a community built artist. What does that mean? What do they look like? What do they sound like? What do they do? What's their backstory? All of that stuff we'll work on together, and we'll detail that more as we get started. We're on day 1. We're at the starting line. So, but we're in this for the long haul. And that's why I talked at the beginning about the team. We're a docs team, and we put everything into this. This is our life and job, this is Authentic Artists. This is Warp Sound. This is what we're doing. And the Warps project is the first note in that long-term vision. Guys, what else? I got any alpha T on Poep utility? I'm probably really behind on this. Poeps, we like them. You like them. Poep, when Poep. Hang on to your Poeps. Collect them when we offer them. You're going to want to have them because they'll probably play a part down the road. That's all I want to say about that. I want to be cagey on that one because that's fun. But the Poeps do play a part in some upgrades of capabilities and things like that down the road.
Can I jump in and answer a question that I found in the chat that
Please.
is really personally really important to me? So I see this question from Fisher JPE, and it says, "You've spoken lots about the huge and talented artists that have been pioneers for music in their own right. What opportunity do you see this project having for artists trying to grow?" And to me, that is one of the most exciting aspects of this project. As an artist, I'm a career artist. I've been an independent artist. I've been signed to Universal Music, Island Records. I went back to being independent. I've struggled to, have a career and to get my music out to the world. That's ultimately what led me into the Web3 space in the first place, was realizing that I didn't make sense as an artist in the music business, in the traditional music business as it is structured. And it didn't make sense for me, and I didn't make sense in it. And that's ultimately what led me to look for other ways to connect with people with my music. And I get emotional when I talk about this aspect of this project, because what everybody has now, what you're about to have soon, is the ability to work with tracks that are, the AI has been trained by world-class producers and artists, people that most folks don't have access to. And we're going to have the opportunity to have these tracks, to take the stems, to mix them, to reimagine them, to make them our own. If you're a singer and you don't write music, up until this point, it's like you could kind of sort through things online and try to find somebody, match yourself up with someone who might make a track for you, which of course is like Old Town Road. That's how that happened. The producer of that track and Lil Nas X met up and collaborated. But to be able to have access to the caliber of music that you hear us play in these gatherings that we do here and on Twitter Spaces, to have that music is all composed, recorded, mixed, mastered, the whole thing. It's all done by our AI. So you're going to have access to tracks that sound different but sound like that. Every track is different. There are going to be 9,999 different tracks, unique one-of-one tracks, but they're all going to be that caliber of music. And we're going to be able to, the artists in the community, the aspiring artists, the already established artists, we're going to have these tracks that are, Young Guru has worked on this. How many of us can call up Young Guru and be like, hey, can you master a track for me? Hey, can you want to collab? that's not most of our realities. And the idea that artists who don't have access to that or haven't until now are going to be able to take their tracks and do what they want with them, make them their own, write the next big song. Like, to me, that's one of the most exciting parts of this project, is that I want the next giant artists, like with massive success, to come from our community. I want to hear what people create, and I want to use my access to help push that music out and elevate that music, whether it's, with our remix contests, with other ideas that I started kind of throwing at Jeff this morning, and he was kind of like, okay, wait. We will talk about all of this, because I just feel inundated with ideas right now, as I know the rest of the team does as well. We're all on this journey. We're all imagining all the different aspects of this project and what we can bring to it, because like Jeff said, this is the beginning. And so, yeah, one of the things that I'm most excited about is exactly that question that you asked. We have people, if you're an artist, if you're a DJ, if you play music and you want to be showcased in our community, please get in touch with me, get in touch with Lindsey. We want to set up events for the people in our community. Once you have your warps, there's going to be all kinds of other opportunities. But really, I know that we are going to get some massive, massive songs out of this. And not only songs, but I mean, there's going to be people who, I'm sure in our audience right now, there's people who are filmmakers, who write for TV, who do commercials, who make YouTube videos. You can use your music however you want, and you can monetize it. You can license it. You can get rich from it if that's your path. Like, we don't take anything from it. You can do this. Whatever you can imagine for your music, you can do it. And I just cannot wait. I mean, like, nothing would make me happier than to see one of our artists or multiple artists in our community have massive success with their songs. And it just, like, when I think about it, I get like completely overwhelmed with emotion. So that's my answer.
That's amazing. And I want to go through, I've been kind of, as you were answering that, there's a couple questions in here that are kind of like easy ones that I keep seeing too. So I made it down to a few of them, and I'll keep going. But a couple that I just want to get out of the way. So Deus Exol, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but any chance in future second marketplaces outside of OpenSea? And Namaste Shaf says, how about Nifty Gateway? So not really up to us on some of them, and on some of them we will already be there. So Looks Rare, for example, we're already there because all they do is surface what's in your wallet. We have a collection there because we are a collection on OpenSea. So we have those two are there. I think you also find them on Rarible too. But really OpenSea, at least for all of us right now, tends to be the one where we're able to get the most. It's just the most trafficked, right? On Nifty Gateway and why am I blanking on Coinbase NFTs? We got to be invited, so maybe they'll invite us. We know some folks over there, so we'll see what happens. We hope to be over there. Another good question from Danny Parker: when Madonna? So this is funny because Madonna's not involved in this project, but Lindsey Burns, who is involved in this project, holds the most Madonna Bored Ape that you've ever seen. Trippy fur, trippy grill, or rainbow grill, BDSM hat, leather jacket. And she tweeted out to Madonna like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, hey, I've been holding this for you. And Madonna recently tweeted back to her and said, thank you, now what? So it's just a fun exchange that's happening. But Madonna's not coming into the pro. Who knows? Maybe maybe through that exchange, like, we'll send her some AI music and she'll like it and want to do something with it. That'd be fun.
I'm gonna comment. I need to make a comment. I just, I'm actually just getting like a lot of things happening in my DMs, and I want to kind of just piggyback on top of this and have a moment, because I just really think that anything can happen. I mean, we were in the middle of our pre-sale and Madonna tweeted at me, and I just think that this is a space, I'm listening to this incredible music. I'm working with people that I love and respect and admire, and I'm looking at this like audience, this group, is it audience? I don't know, this circle of friends and holders, and And I'm having a bit of a moment because I don't know that I thought that this was like actually possible, before a couple of years ago, before a year ago, really. And so the answer to some of these is just going to be yes and just wait to see what's next. I mean, a couple of these questions, I'm like, well, it's coming down that's possible. So yeah, this is, if you're new to this space, um, enjoy the ride because this is going to be really fun. And if you've been around, then you already know. But I don't know. I've watched Chris, and bring on Jeff and with this idea. And I was like, what is this? And then quickly, I'm sorry about the notifications. It's like, I don't know which server is doing that. I can't find it. Sorry. But I just have to say with Chris, with your dream and ideas and then Jeff being like, you know what, I'm going to step into something different that's exciting and I need to have my creative I need to have my heart sing because it just wasn't singing anymore, and here we are in web3 and NFTs, and this is great. That's all.
So let me get through. That's awesome. And let me just get through a couple more of these really quick. That's so rad. Thank you, Lindsey. These. Why did OpenSea take away the blue check? Apparently, they weren't supposed to give it to us, which was weird because they gave it to us. But apparently, in their terms and conditions, like they're not supposed to give it to us until we've revealed. So they've told us that they had to take it away until we reveal, and then when we reveal, they'll immediately give it back. It's super weird. I don't know, whatever. But the only reason we care about it is because we want to make sure, like, if you're going and looking for our collection, that you find the right one, because there are scam collections up right now and scam NFTs. So just make sure you're using the collection that has the verified Warps deployment. That's who created the collection, and it's the one that we link to from all of our links on Twitter and in here. And again, that's really the only reason we want that or care about it. And there's so much activity right now. Like, we were really hoping to have it so that you knew you're on the right collection, but we have to wait to reveal. How do we claim the minting Poep? That's a really good question. Again, we are just like spinning from the sale and from everything that's going on and all of the activity. If you minted from the contract, what that's referring to, if you minted from the contract, we said we'll have a Poep for you guys. So we will. We just need a little patience on it as we gather the addresses that actually minted, go through Poep to get the approval for the distributions, and then to create that so that you're basically whitelisted or can allow listed for the Poep, and then we'll get that link out to everybody. So if you've minted from the contract, you can claim it. So that's how that will work. That we'll post it in here and we'll post it on Twitter. Like, hey, if you minted from the contract, go here and claim it, and you'll just connect your wallet and you'll be able to claim it. And if you didn't mint from the contract, you won't be on that list and you won't be able to claim it. So please don't open a support ticket if you bought it on secondary, because that's not what that Poep's for. Are there one of ones in the collection? And if so, will they still be a DJ Dragoon or Naomi, etc.? Yes, there are definitely one of ones in the collection. Andy has done an incredible job with some really beautiful ones. I'm not going to give away what they are because I want that to be a surprise. Are they still based on those characters? Yes, they are. And Dylan, this is funny. Dylan, our Web3 engineer, who's incredible, had this really great idea that we didn't do for inserting an A&R man into the collection. And if you got him, he's like this angry A&R dude from the label who's like trying to like come after all the other characters. And it was cool, but we didn't do it because we were like, I'd be kind of bummed if I got the A&R man. So
that's like triggering for me.
It's super triggering.
I feel like
I know.
Yeah, like anyone who's worked in the music industry, if they got the A&R man, I would just be like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. So we didn't do that. And then Django Fett was like, what do you say? Will these be Genesis passes that act as passes for future drops? Yes, effectively. We'll have future stuff, as we go here, where some will be for token holders only, and then some will be early access for token holders, and then the public can mint, that sort of thing. But yeah, if you're a holder, like you're going to have first dibs on things if there is a public offering, and some stuff you'll just get that only token holders will get. The collectible thing for us is really important. Like we think that we love NFTs. We also love the utility that they can provide. And so if we can marry those two things and create new ways for you to create music-based collectibles, generative art-based collectibles, collaborations, those sorts of things, that's going to be a big part of this. There's another interesting one. Can you shed some light on potential scope behind the AI composed music? Reading the website, it seems token holders will be able to generate full songs, etc. This is all over my head, but sounds revolutionary. From the God Pharma. So he's same who asked about the one-of-ones. Yeah, the AI system that has composed the music based on the traits. The intent is over time, as that system develops, and mind you, it's like bleeding edge new technology that's not like consumer ready in the sense of like turning it on for 1 million people to come hit it at once. But the intent is that you will then at a certain point be able to connect, it'll read your token, and you'll then be able to generate some new things from it. And so Nick is probably trying to kick me under the table for saying too much already. But that's in the roadmap for sure. Some of the other stuff too, like when it says to generate full songs, the idea is like you're going to have an 8-bar loop that's about 20 to 30 seconds. Wouldn't you like to have a longer version of that? So that might be a fun airdrop at some point down the road. Okay. Anything else? I'm way behind on the chat, so I don't know where we are, Tara. And we've been here an hour, so.
Oh, wow. Have we really? Time is like
Yeah.
a little bit, time's a little weird right now. Well, we can call it. Why don't we play a little more music? Let's play another song and then we can let everybody go. And we're definitely going to be doing a town hall on Friday too. So I'm sure questions will come up between now and then. And
there's a couple more. Actually, I just noticed,
oh,
if you don't mind, if I'll just take a couple more here because
yeah, of
I
course.
see them coming up a couple of times. So Fearful Jesuit has asked this question: will there be a DAO ownership structure? So tokenomics and a DAO, we're not really looking at that right now. This is a collectible based project with a ton of utility for holders that get to do some things that might resemble a DAO structure, but it's also a startup and it is a company that is creating this AI platform. And so that is important, that it is not, you are not investing in and a part owner in that company. So it's just really important that we draw that distinction. We're also, if we were to do anything around tokenomics or a DAO, around an artist, for example, which might be a great way to do a DAO around a virtual artist or a token around a virtual artist, we are going to be very, very careful about how we do that. We are not going to be cavalier around how we drop those things into our community, because there could be very real implications for people around those, depending on where securities laws and things go. I'll just be frank about it. So if we were to ever do anything like that, we're going to take our time with it because we want to make sure that our community is safe and protected, rather than just like throwing you all a bunch of tokens and being like, good luck. So that's where we come from on that.
I
Any
want to
chance you
second
drop
that
any...
too, and just say I'm so happy that that the whole team feels that way, because there's a lot of folks kind of jumping into being a DAO, but the legal implications are quite complex, and I'm happy that you all feel that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a time and place to be cavalier, and then there's a time and place to like protect people so they don't get in fucking serious financial issues or whatever. And I think we are going to err on the latter side of that for our community. There was another question around if you make a track and with your NFT, and then you sell that NFT, what happens to that track and the ownership of it? It's a really good question. We have a really extensive terms of service on the site. We've got an FAQ that breaks it down in much more simple terms. I ran this by Anthony as we were sitting here. Anthony has run all of our legal and all of the back end of the contracts and the language and stuff. He's basically saying, what we're saying is, the music is effectively a sample, which we're licensing to you, and you can use it however you want for commercial rights, and you can use it in a new track, and you can monetize it and do whatever you want with it, right? When you sell NFT, the new owner can then do whatever they want with the sample, but they don't have rights to the track that you made. So if you made that track, you have the rights in perpetuity to that track. And the sample that you're using in that track is gratis. You don't have to go pay the new owner to use that sample or pay us to use that sample. But the new owner doesn't have rights to your track and can't collect, off of your sample usage, but can go make whatever they want from that date forward with that sample. So I hope that's clear. And we'll get more into that as people start making stuff. And if you have questions about that, feel free to raise them up. That's not going to affect most people. Well, I don't know. We have a lot of artists in the community. It's not going to affect all people who hold the NFT, but if it is something that you're questioning because you're a musician and you want to use it, ask it, and we'll work with you to help you understand the terms so that you feel comfortable using the music. This was a thing that came up with Brandon from Google on the Bomb Talk on Monday. A big part of this is, imagine if you're a musician, or you like to make music, you consider yourself a musician, but maybe you're not a professional musician, but you really want to explore, you want to play. You don't have money for studio time. You don't have connections to Young Guru. You don't have the ability to do this stuff in that way. What if this became a base for you to start from, and you pull it into GarageBand and you start messing around with it, and now all of a sudden you've made a track because you rapped over it and looped it, and you can release that. Like the access that provides, we hope that it can change the dynamic for people and sort of level the playing field in a way. And that was part of the reason for the mint price too, because we wanted to keep it equitable. So that people can start to use this stuff and make stuff that maybe wouldn't have had a chance to otherwise, or maybe felt too scared to because things felt too hard. And this is like here's a ready-made track, just go sing over. Okay. Now,
just
do we want to play music, Tara?
One more on that, and it gets back to the question about how we can help emerging artists. They're sort of the nuts and bolts of getting sounds that you can work with. And then there's the community. I personally think of this as sort of for an emerging artist who takes their warp and makes music with it, collabs with it. We have a built-in, 5,300 person fan club here, and we're here to lift up any creators in the community that do work with this music and with these virtual artists. So. And I know that I share that feeling with everyone up on the stage here, and just feeling the energy from the community in these very early moments out of the gates. I think it's there for you to tap into too as an emerging artist and creator.
I would like to echo that. Are we dead air?
No, I think we're gonna.
I mean that's definitely. We came here into the Discord, and I know, Tara, I'm sure you said this already, and Jeff, but just to reemphasize it, is like, you were the first people that we wanted to talk to, the community, the holders, and this is what we want. We want to hear what you want to do with this. And the Discord is huge. And I wish that there was emojis, because I didn't want to say anything. I just wanted to hit like, yes, 100, yes. But that's what I'm doing. So thanks to you guys, folks.
All right. Should we listen to some music and shut it down for the day? Thank you all for spending this last hour plus with us. We're going to be spending a lot of time together in the coming days, weeks, months, years, lifetimes. And let's see. There's no way to do a show of hands, actually. So I think do we want to hear some Narhart maybe? Or what if my team on stage want to hear? Let's play something for everyone. Who do you want to hear, Jeff Nicholas? Jeff Nicholas.
I was muted. Let's hear some Dragoon. Let's bring it up.
Great. All right, let's go. Now, I don't know which one it's going to be. These are all very new. And this is from our Audius page. So if anyone wants to check it out, our Audius page is in the official links. And here we go. And we'll shut it down after this. Okay. We're going to do more listening parties soon. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Jeff, anyone else on stage, is anything you want to say before we shut down the stage for today?
I just want to give everybody my gratitude. I think, we've been working on this, some of us for 3 years, some of us since September, all of us as hard as we possibly can because we love it. And to be in here with, there were 300 of us at a certain point today. There's 14,000 of us in the Discord. We've got 5,300 holders or more. And we've got, a whole community now, 10,000 on Twitter that are following. It's unbelievable to cross that threshold in the way that this has and have you guys with us. So I'm incredibly grateful. I can't wait to take the journey with you guys.
Yes. All right. Everyone have a beautiful day. We'll see you in the channels. And thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.